Hey, everybody. Managing digital assets can be very, very difficult if you have not figured out a system to sort of catalog, categorize, and tag all of your digital assets. One of the things that became very obvious to me once I started really digging in and developing ads and developing copy and blog posts and all sorts of things is having a centralized place where I could have all of my digital assets and be able to recall those assets when necessary. It became really difficult for me because I had developed a folder system, and this folder system I had really gotten for video, but this folder system really helps me to stay organized when you are creating a tremendous amount of content. If you're producing a tremendous amount of content, it's really going to help you. And I want to focus in this particular class today, we're going to talk about how to manage digital assets. Okay. And this is going to help you if you are the kind of person who has a lot of social media postings, if you are a solo entrepreneur and you're sort of having to manage all of this stuff on your own, if you're a person who, just gets really overwhelmed when it comes to creating graphics and things of that nature. I've got a class here already on the Digital Learn Academy that will help you. That's all things graphics. But in this class, I want to talk to you about how to manage those graphics and make sure that those graphics are in a place where you can easily recall them and you can pull up those digital asset management, that you can pull up those assets when you need them. Now, part of the problem is when you have a whole lot of assets already, you literally have to sit down and tag and categorize all of those assets. And many of you, if you're like me, you're trying to stay up to date with the market. And so you're buying a lot of digital assets and adding that to your library. And that can be overwhelming, especially when you're getting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 assets at one time. And now, because of the way that the market is, a lot of these digital assets are becoming, they send you a Google sheet or a Google link, and you just simply download all 2,000 or 3,000 of those digital assets. So today we're going to really focus in on how to manage your digital assets, and how to manage or have digital asset management. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today. All right, so what is digital asset management? Digital asset management is the practice of administering and organizing and distributing your media files. So here's the deal. You have to get organized, especially if you are a solo entrepreneur. You cannot have all of these digital assets and all of these things all over the place, because when the time comes for you to recall this information, let's say, for instance, you're working with a virtual assistant and you need to give this information to your virtual assistant, it's going to make it very difficult if you don't have an easy system to recall all of your data. And so it's important. Now, when you talk about digital assets, what are you talking about? You're talking about photos. You're talking about templates. You're talking about videos. You're talking about all sorts of graphics as well as PDFs. And one thing that I didn't add here, which I probably should have added, was PowerPoints. Also your PowerPoint slides, because you may be, a teacher such as myself, and you may be using PowerPoint for all of your video presentations. And it's important for you to have a centralized location where you can locate those files and you can actually recall them when necessary and distribute them to your virtual assistant and to the people who are going to need them when they need them. So what you're going to have to learn is you're going to have to learn the information management techniques, better known as the Widen collective. Okay. This was actually coined way back in the 90s, in the early 90s, when, the internet really started to take off. They came up with this information management technique name called a Widen collection. And here is what that is all about. What that is, gives you the ability to centralize, automate, to collaborate, to share, to analyze, to repurpose, to protect, and to integrate. That's what the Widen method is. You have to have it in a centralized location, which means a single searchable platform. You have to have your digital assets in a place that you can singularly go to, recall those assets when necessary. You also have to have the ability to automate, meaning you can tag, you can have the proper metadata as well as the distribution. Now, here's the thing about the metadata that you're going to become fully aware of if you're a person who is doing a lot of blogging and you're looking to make sure that if you use a photograph, if you've assigned keywords to that photograph, that no matter where you move that photo, that metadata stays the same, and you can make sure that it's integrated into that picture or that file, so that wherever you transfer it to, it will always have that information included in there, which is really, really important. Anybody who's doing any sort of data asset management knows when you're doing blog posts, when you're doing Facebook, when you're doing YouTube, when you're doing all sorts of things, you want to make sure that the data management is there. So the tagging and the metadata is really important, as well as the distribution. So if you have a virtual assistant, you need to make sure that you can distribute your assets to that virtual assistant as quickly as possible to ensure the fact that you're getting that stuff to the right people at the right time, okay? You also, of course, will collaborate. That's on your creation. So if you've hired someone to create digital assets for you, you want to be able to collaborate with those individuals as well as to review it, as well as to give them approvals, etc., when it comes to collaboration. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to collaboration, you're using something like Asana, or you're using Trello, or you're using something to that effect. And those are fine as far as collaboration is concerned. But when it comes to centralizing and automating it, you want to make sure that you have one centralized place to do that. You also want to be able to share it as well. And that's another way that you can do it. And I typically do that through Dropbox or through one of those digital online storage places that I already have. And I sort of try to make sure that that can be integrated into whatever I'm already using. Okay, so that's really important to me. And so I try to make sure that I'm doing that. All right. Now, you want to be able to analyze the usage of that photograph or those digital assets. You want to make sure that you are able to categorize, make sure that you know that you're using it, and that you have some sort of listing or note-taking ability within that app to determine that you've already used this particular asset. And so that's something that becomes crucial as well. You also want to be able to repurpose it. And that's also to help you on your investment. If you've had somebody to purchase all of these, to make all of these assets for you, you want to make sure that you have the ability to repurpose it. So therefore you can actually, make sure that you're getting a return on your investment. So you're not just spending the money to get the digital assets made, but you're also having that money returned back to you because you're able to use it and you're able to quantify it to make sure that you're doing so. You also want to make sure that you're protecting your rights and making sure that you're protecting your images. So anytime that you need to, make sure that the metadata is in there, you want to make sure that you've, watermarked it or whatever you've done to it. You just want to make sure that you're able to do that, as well as integrate that into all of your marketing tools. You want to make sure that you're able to integrate it because it's important. I cannot tell you guys enough how the fluidity of your workflow becomes hampered if you have to go into a million places to pull your digital assets. It becomes really, really difficult, and you become really, really hampered down when you do not have the ability to have it in a centralized location. Okay, so that's really important there as well. So let's talk a little bit about what are digital assets. Okay, we want to break that down. It's content that is simply stored in a digital file format. So anything that is digitally filed, that's what what's going to be confined as or defined by a digital asset. Now, it's content that provides value to your company, that you own, that you have a right to use. Okay, so, and you also want to make sure if you are purchasing photographs from, let's say, Adobe stock or some of those other places, that you have the ability to also store those, but also be able to maybe link to your rights so that you can recall those rights if you have not downloaded them, and you can have those rights all, you have a click way of getting to the rights as well. So simply, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a way for you to protect your assets. You need to be able to protect the stuff that you're doing, that you're creating. Otherwise, you're sort of limiting your ability and the work that you're doing. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how does a digital asset management system work. A system works as a centralized repository that you or control center that allows for various inputs and outputs. Okay, you can input it and you can output it and get it to places that you need very fast. The system that I use, I can literally go in there, grab a piece of something digital, I can drag and drop it into somewhere else. So it works really, really well with that. And I'm going to be sharing that with you. You can stop wasting time searching for your digital assets. Now, I'm going to be honest, the other day, because I use a twofold system to save my assets. I have one that gets saved, in the cloud, and then I have a separate hard drive that I save onto my computer. Well, here lies the problem. The other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I needed to find a file that I had transferred over to my hard drive, but I had forgot that I renumbered the file. I numbered the file instead of putting number 1, 2, 3, because I number everything 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So instead of numbering it in a flow, I put the number as 0.0 so it would go to the top. And I forgot that I did that. And so it literally took me almost an entire day to go through my, external drive to find this one stupid file. And I kid you not, it almost took me, I think, till 4:30 in the afternoon. And I remember it because I looked at the clock and I was like, I cannot believe this has taken me all day to find this one darn file. And I didn't use the word darn, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I said, why am I doing this to myself when I have a system in place? Now, I know I save it, on the external drive, but it was just the thing of making sure in my mind that I had it. And because I hadn't really organized it the normal way that I've done it, I just transfer it really quickly because I was running out of room on my computer, and it told me, okay, you got so much gigabyte space left and you need to. So I started moving everything from my computer to the external drive so that I can, make sure that I move it and, categorize it there later as well. And I normally save that till Sundays, and sometimes on Sundays is when I categorize and organize all that stuff. Okay. And so you want to make sure that even if you're doing it in a folder system, you add some tags to it, and you can do that. And we'll probably get into that in another class, but you can tag stuff in your regular computer so that you can recall those things very quickly. So in your digital asset management system, you want to be able to search by keyword as well as file formats. You want to be able to search by specific words that you could just type in your computer, and it will bring up all of the things that are related to that. And one of the things that I'll tell you that makes that really great is it just saves you a lot of time, and it makes it really easy when you're looking for certain stuff. And Evernote for me is one of the ways that I've been able to make sure that I've got certain data and notes in a categorized place, because I always tag my notes so that I can go back to them and I can recall things very, very quickly. So that's really, really cool as far as that's concerned. All right, so I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Let me go out of this. Let me back up so I can see. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, before we get into before we get into this, let's get into software. Because like I said, in order for you to manage this stuff, a lot of us are using Google, we're using Dropbox, we're using Amazon. There's other programs out there called Sync, pCloud, or you might be doing what I do, which is having a Costco external drive. I get the big terabyte drives and I use those to transfer all of my data. And I have a folder system that I use for my Costco external drive. And so you may have a different type of external drive, but that's typically how most of us are uploading and storing that. But a lot of time that isn't categorized and it's not tagged so that you can go back and find those assets quickly when you're in your workflow or you're working in your system or however you choose to work. So it makes it really difficult if you haven't done that. And so my mind frame is making sure, according to the digital asset management, is making sure that I've got a centralized, excuse me, according to the Widen collective, is to make sure that I've got a centralized place for that stuff so that I can recall that stuff very quickly. And you want to be able to really keep about, thinking about that. You always want to have that stuff done. Okay. So what are the benefits of doing this? Okay. Here's one. Oh, and I done moved that over. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Can I move that back? Okay. Let's move it back. They're going to be like, what in the world? Move that over. Well, anyway, because I don't want to mess it up. I messed up. I'm supposed to move this. Okay, here we go. Let's move this a little bit. Is it going to move it for me? Well, I messed up. Okay, well, anyway, you want to be able to, and I'll figure out how to do that. You want to reduce have a reduction of production costs and also better resource allocation. So you're able to find out what resources are you using. You're able to determine whether or not you need to buy new resources or assets. And you can make sure that you're saving yourself money and you're not just buying things because it's the new shiny thing that's being sold. That's also really important to me. I don't know about you. Also, you want to make sure that you've got more organizational transparency so that you can see what you've got. That's how I view that. You can see what you've got and you can organize it in a great way and make sure that it's simple. You can also increase your conversion as well as your customer retention because you're using better graphics and you have graphics that you can use that really stand out, that make a significant amount of difference in your business, and you can really use those things as well. All right, you also want to make sure that you have some type of brand consistency. All right, brand consistency is very important. Now, when it comes to brand consistency, you want to make sure that you're staying on brand. You want to make sure that you have assets that have your watermark, your logo, things that you've already assigned, that you can recall easily, that already are on brand, on your brand colors, are on your taglines and things of that nature. You want to make sure that you can pull that information and pull that stuff very, very quickly. You also want to make sure that you have compliance and that you're complying with whatever rules that are out there for the data that you might have purchased, and make sure that your licenses and your legal documentation is easy to be recalled. And that's really important for me. And I try to tell people, when it comes to that, oh, I see what I should have done. Okay. You want to make sure that it's easy to recall so that you can use that stuff when you need it. Okay. All right. Now, what do I have out here? Let's talk about a little bit about how to organize your video files for an asset collection. Okay. Here's the best way to do it and the easiest way for me to do it. And this is how I do it. You want to define your goal. You want to find out, okay, what is the goal of this? How am I going to do this? I want to make sure that I want to organize it and I'm going to define it. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some type of folder system. Now, this is for you if you're using an external drive or something like that. But even if you're using an asset management software, which I'm going to show you in a minute, you still want to make sure that you're having some type of folder system. And that same type of folder system or structure that you're using in your digital asset management system, you can also use in your external drive. And so anytime I go over to my Costco drive, it sort of has the same subfolders and file folder system, so I know where to look, and it makes it really, really easy because I save my stuff in two separate places. You can categorize videos with folders, tags, and keywords. You can also do that, as I said to you before, and we're going to get into that, of course, probably in another class. Also, you want to invest in a video asset management tool. You want to make sure that you're using a tool that's going to work for you very quickly. And that leads me to one of the tools that I use and the only tool that I recommend. And that's a program called Eagle. It's called Eagle, and it is a digital software management tool. Now, there are some other tools out there. I'm going to list them here. I'm not really going to go into them because the only tool that I want to go into is Eagle, and I want to show you the power of what Eagle does and can do for you. Eagle is one of these programs that if you understand the simplicity and the power of the program, it can tremendously make a lot of your work very, very easy. and it can help you to move swiftly, even when you're making or designing graphics or storing graphics, PDFs, etc. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of the software here, but I want to show you first of all that one of the things that this software comes with is a Chrome extension. And when you click on this Chrome extension, you will see that there are certain options that you have. You can actually save bookmarks. You can batch save if that's something you need to do. You can capture a specific area of a website. You can capture only what's visible. You can actually capture an entire page, okay? And so you can use this Chrome extension to do very, very quick stuff. And I typically use this if I see a picture or something that I want to take off the internet. A lot of times I'll take capture area and I'll do that. Also, I catch a lot of swipe pages by using the capture page option there. So that's one of the ways that I use Eagle. So it's really, really simple. So this is a better way, of course, as it says here, for you to collect, search, and organize all of your design files, okay? And it's putting it in a logical, sequential way, okay? Now, you can use this, I believe, on Mac as well as Windows, and you can look at the requirements there, and it'll give you more information about the requirements and what you can do there. Because you do have options as far as what you can do, all right? This is kind of giving you an illustration of what you can do, but I'm actually going to show you inside of my Eagle account as well. It's giving you some ideas here. Of course, I mentioned to you about the browser extension. It does have a video bookmarking feature where you can bookmark the videos. You can actually store the videos on your Eagle Drive if you've uploaded it to, let's say, Dropbox or something to that. And that's typically what I do. You also have your screenshots where you can actually take screenshots, and those screenshots will go straight into Eagle. So you don't have to go guessing, okay, where's this file on my computer, because it takes it automatically into Eagle. You can drag and drop files. What I love about this is if I've got a file in a folder, or let's say I need to take something out of Eagle and put it into a folder, it's drag and drop. You don't even have to type in the file name or anything like that. You just drag it from Eagle and drop it. So it's really, really simple. Okay. Now the folder system that Eagle sort of uses is you can somewhat sort of structure your folder system the same way that you do for your external drive. So you can sort of figure out how you have things, especially in your graphics folder. So that way you'll have, you'll make it easy when it comes time for you to find certain things. But if you're tagging things, it makes it really, really easy as well. Okay. Now you can do a color filter. You can do by keyword research. So you can type in a specific keyword and it can recall the data for you. You can do an advanced filter and all sorts of things as far as that's concerned. Okay. Now what I want to do here at this particular point, I want to bring over my Eagle program and I want to show you the power of this program. Now let me scroll up here. Now, what you see on your screen is actually Eagle. Now, this is the actual file that constructs of all. So all 11,329 elements that I have are actually in this one file folder. Now, of course, this is just all, so you can scroll through if that's something that you needed to do. Now, you will see it has several different design assets. You've got uncategorized. Right now, I've got over 267 of these that I haven't put into a category. Now, if you will notice, if I click on this, you'll see that it says, even though it's misspelled, wow, let's correct that, webinar Saturday header, you'll notice that it has a tag on here and it says webinar, okay? So it has a webinar. I could have put a Saturday tag on there as well, but it's already done. All right, so let's take a look at this page as well. This is a website. This is actually a swipe page. So I swipe this page because a lot of websites that I see, I love the design and the look of them. So a lot of times it gives me ideas for future pages that I'm going to create and do. And so what I'll do is I'll just swipe those pages and I swiped it. It's under swipe file. That's the tag for it. And I've also given it a tag of a landing page so I know it's in my swipe file and it goes into the landing page area. So that's how I look at that. All right, and you'll just see all sorts of things here. Like this is a YouTube Studio TubeBuddy deal here, and it has a tag of TubeBuddy. Now, what I love about this is if you've ever tried to make a graphic or you wanted to make a thumbnail and you couldn't figure out exactly what color people are using, anytime you drag and drop anything into this program, it's going to give you the color palette of all of the colors that are listed in that image, which is really, really cool. And if you want to know the color, you just click on it and it'll give you all of the colors that are in that, in that image. So I really love it for that fact as well. Okay, so it'll tell you how many things are untagged. I have a lot of things that are untagged, that are not tagged. They also have a community here. You can look up all the tags that you put in here and the items that you've thrown into the trash. Now, for the sake of this video, I want to show you, you can actually save music tracks to this as well. Okay, now you'll notice at the top of this, it says background music. You click on this, these are all the music files. Now, what you guys don't know, and you can't hear, but if I had kept the sound on for this, you would be able to hear this music playing. So you don't have to go out and open up, I don't know, an audio program to play it. It'll actually play itself right in here as you hover over it. So you'll be able to hear all of that stuff there. Okay, so that's background music. Well, if you've got sound effects and you've got certain things that you've purchased from all sorts of websites and places, you'll be able to use those sound effects and you will know what those sound effects sound like when you scroll over them. So everything is already here. So just with these two things, we've seen background music as well as sound effects. So those two things are there as well. All right. And under this music tracks, you will see I've got music tracks here. And then this is under the heading of background music. And under the folder system, these are subfolders that were added, background music, sound effects. So if I ever need to put background music or sound effects, I can just dump them in that folder. Now, you'll also see the Adobe stock photos. This is something when I have photos that I've gotten from Adobe or stock photos that I've purchased, a lot of times I will just put them over here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have to do is go through each one of these and just simply add tags to them. So I'll be able to recall these very, very easy. But normally if you go down to the bottom, is you'll see a lot of Adobe stuff that I've gotten from other places and downloaded. And a lot of this stuff is here. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is so simple to use and you can definitely take advantage of this. Okay. So now you've got Adobe stock photo videos. So all of the videos that I took from that are Adobe stock or just stock videos in general, I will typically put those in here and it'll have that there as well. Now it also saves PowerPoints, and this is another great thing. If you have a lot of PowerPoints and you're doing a lot of PowerPoints, you can actually save your PowerPoints inside of here, which is really cool. Okay, so you can save your PowerPoints. You can go to whatever you need to go to and it will actually save it for you. So it's really, really cool. Now I've got t-shirts, but one of the things that I also wanted to point out for you guys today, every single PDF that I personally own, I actually have inside of this software. So it saves me a ton of time when it comes to look for PDFs. Now I'm actually going to tag these and have all of these things organized here very, very soon, but I just want to show you every single PDF that I own is in here. Now you can save videos here. These videos you can save in all sorts of ways. Let me tell you this. Let me see. Because I've got like quick tip videos that I put in here. And you can actually save these videos. Now I want to show you something. Over here you'll see it says new tag notes, or it'll have a website. You can actually clip a Vimeo, YouTube video or something like this, and it will bring it into this program. And so you'll be able to clip it, bring it inside of the program and use it. So this program is very, very robust, and it gives you everything that you need to house all of your digital assets. When we talk about centralized location so that you can make a return on your investment, this is one of these programs that I think is probably one of the best. Now, here's what makes this program even more unique. When you go to buy this software is simply $20. Okay, it's $29. So it's a very, very simple program. It's a very robust program, and you can get it for a very cheap price. Now, I'll put a link down for you guys in the description. Of course, full disclosure, you guys know it's an affiliate link. And this is something that I use and that I personally use, and I think it's great. And everybody that I've referred to this has come back to me and thanked me for it, because it is really, really a good program. And I found this program. I was actually in a class. I take a class every Tuesday myself. And in our class on Tuesday, my friend Lon Naylor mentioned getting a digital asset management system. And I never knew they had anything like this. And I was like, hey, I need to go on a fact-finding mission to find me a digital asset manager. So I looked for it. I found this, and I actually referred him and other people to this. And so this is actually a really, really good program. And so for the price that it has, I mean, you can't beat it. It's an awesome program. It's easy to use, and it makes all the world of difference. Okay. Now, if you guys, have any questions when we come to the end of our session here, you'll be able to ask me. All right. So with Eagle, as you can see, it is an awesome piece of software, and it's very easy to use, and it's one of those softwares that I'm going to really recommend you pick it up. Please make sure you use the link below, because that's going to help me to continue to afford to make little tutorials like this and introduce you guys to new software and stuff like this. Now, I want to talk a little bit about a folder system that you can use really quick for your digital asset management. Okay, so this is about folder management. Now, what I typically do for my folder, and I'm going to give you guys my folder system. This is the exact folder system that I use. Okay. Now I have what I call a master folder. Okay. This master folder has subfolders and all the other things that are inside it that I'm going to need to categorize and put everything into place. But I keep one main master folder, and I simply just copy and paste that folder over and over and over again, and I can label that folder if I'm making a video, whatever the title of that video is, or if I'm making a blog post, I can make it whatever the blog post is. Because when it comes to blog posts and things like that you're going to be putting on your website, you might make a video, you might have some social media postings that you're going to do, and so I put everything all into this master folder, and it sort of helps me to stay organized to make sure that I do it. So we've got this master folder here. Now this might look a little complicated to you in the beginning, but when you develop a system and you learn how to use this system, it becomes really, really easy for you. And I promise you, it is not as difficult as you think, or this might seem a little overwhelming. But I've got this one master folder, right? Now, inside of the master folder, I've got several other folders. Okay, so here's how this system works for me. When I open it up, I've got 11 folders inside of this one folder. Okay, so there are 11 folders that are always stacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 inside of my master folder. At the number 1 is what I call my planning folder and links. Okay, this is the folder that I use if I'm going to put any Word documents, if I've got any text documents, if I've got anything that requires me to sort of recall some data on the internet or something like that. I'll create a text file with a link, and I will put that inside of my planning folder. Okay, now because of the way that I work now, and I use Evernote so much, most of the time I'll have an Evernote link that will link to all of that inside of this one folder. So I'll have like a text document with a link to the Evernote document that can recall all of that data inside of Evernote for me. Okay, so that's kind of how I work. So I plan everything in folder number 1. In folder number 2, I have all of my recordings. These are all of my raw recordings. So if I'm making multiple recordings that I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to cut, add, take things out or do whatever I need to do, I'm going to put those inside of the recordings folder. And you guys will see inside of there, I say air meet final recording, because there'll be a couple of other folders. In there. There's 3 folders in there. It's my air meet final recording folder, all other video that I'm going to use. This might be something like B-roll footage or something like that, or my Camtasia final recording. So I can recall my final recording with Camtasia very, very quickly. And you will notice that down here, I believe it is, you will see a Camtasia file is number 10. Now, why I have two separate files for Camtasia is because Camtasia has something called TREC files, and then they have their actual subfolder file that they've created for the video that you're making. And so all of those are like the raw video recordings in Camtasia. So I'll put those in the Camtasia file. But when it comes to the final recording for Camtasia, that goes into its own folder, and I can just always go in there and recall it really quickly. So that's what I do. Now, if you have taken your raw recordings and you've done any work to those raw recordings and you've produced another video. So anytime I've produced something, I will put that inside of the produced folder. So I know that the videos that are inside of this produced folder have already been completed or done so that I can add them either to the master recording that I'm doing, or I can continue to add B-roll footage or something like that. And you can maybe put your B-roll footage in there if that's something that you want to do. Now, I also have something called my audio. So any type of audio files that I have, I will put that in there as well. So I can easily recall those audio files for me. Makes it really, really simple, okay? Now, I also have show thumbnail media. Now, this will be for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. You guys might want to add some more folders in there. My video images, let's say if I took a screenshot of something in the video, I'll put all of those images inside of the show media thumbnail. So I know this is primarily where all of my images, my social media stuff is going to go inside of my thumbnail, as well as my YouTube thumbnails and all that stuff goes inside of this. So this is sort of like the images kind of folder for whatever I'm doing. So this is where I'm going to house images. All right. Now you will also see if I'm teaching a class that I'm using PowerPoint, all of my PowerPoint slides will be located inside of this folder. Okay. So all of anything that has anything to do with PowerPoint. Also, I'm going to do what's called a final recording. So in case I've produced something here and I need to make it into a final recording, I will put that inside of here. All right. Now, my YouTube shorts, because of the way that I'm marketing and I'm putting out a lot of my content, I'm going to also make what's called YouTube shorts as well as Instagram shorts, and they get their own file folder. Now, to tell you the truth, you could probably put your YouTube shorts inside of your YouTube folder, maybe just create another folder, and you can do that. So that's an idea, as well as my Camtasia file, as well as my headshots. So in case I'm using a person's picture or face or something inside of my video, and I'm, let's say for instance, I want to recall a video of my friend Lon Naylor. I'll put Lon's picture inside of the headshots, so it makes it really easy for me to recall that, and I can use it very quickly. Now, I know that's overwhelming for some of you, and it might seem overwhelming, but I promise you, once you get this, this will change your life. So if you look at it in a small picture here, I have one master folder. Inside of the master folder, there are 11 folders. My planning, my recording, my produce, my audio, my media, my thumbnail, all of my images, my PowerPoint, my final recording, YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, and my Camtasia file and my headshots. That's all that's in there. So, and if you open it up, then you have your images for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, video images. Then when you open up the recordings, you have your AirMeet final recording, any other video that I'm going to be using as well that's done, and Camtasia final recording. That's very, very simple. Very, very simple system. Now, it might seem a little difficult to you guys, but I've been using this system for years now, and it makes my life so much better, so much easier, and I can recall stuff so much quicker. And I think that once you learn this folder system, it's going to make a total difference. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions, and we can talk a little bit more about the Eagle software, and you guys can ask me any questions that you have. So this is our question and answer time, and I look forward to any questions that you guys have as it relates to the Eagle system.